On the evening of August 20th, 1989, Jose and Kitty were watching television in the den of their Beverly Hills mansion when Lyle and Eric entered the den, carrying Mossberg 12-gauge shotguns. Jose was shot 6 times, including a fatal shot to the back of his head. Kitty was shot 10 times immediately after the killings. Both brothers remained in the house expecting the police to respond due to the noise of the gunshots. When the police arrived, the brothers told them that the killings had occurred while they were at a movie theater watching Batman and attending the Taste of Eld at a festival at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. The police did not seek gunshot residue tests from the brothers, which would have indicated whether they had recently discharged a firearm. In the months after the killings, the brothers began to spend lavishly on luxury items, businesses, and travel. Lyle bought Chuck's Spring Street Cafe, a Buffalo Wing restaurant in Princeton, New Jersey, as well as a Rolex watch and a Porsche Carrera sports car. Eric hired a full-time tennis coach and competed in a series of tournaments in Israel. The brothers eventually left the Beverly Hills mansion unoccupied, choosing to live in adjoining condominiums in nearby Marina del Rey. During the early stages of the investigation, police tried to narrow their search to suspects who had motives to kill Jose and Kitty and also investigated potential mob leads. As the investigation continued, they began to suspect the brothers were the most likely perpetrators due to the obvious financial motive and their exorbitant spending after the killings. In an attempt to get a confession from Eric, police arranged for his friend, Craig Signorelli, to wear a wire during a lunch with Eric at a local beachfront restaurant. When Signorelli asked Eric whether he had killed his parents, Eric denied it. Eric eventually confessed to his psychologist, Jerome Oziel, who then told his mistress, Judalon Smith. Oziel later broke up with Smith and, in a fit of rage, told the police about the brothers' involvement. Lyle was arrested on March 8, 1990, and Eric turned himself in 3 days later. Represented by their defense lawyer, Leslie Abramson, the brothers stated that they killed their parents out of fear for their lives after a lifetime of abuse at the hands of their parents, especially sexual abuse at the hands of their father, who was described as a cruel perfectionist and pedophile. Meanwhile, their mother was described as an enabling, selfish, mentally unstable alcoholic and drug addict who encouraged her husband's behavior and was also violent toward the brothers. The allegations against the couple were supported by the testimony of 2 family members. The brothers' cousin Andy Cano said that as a child, Eric told him about the sexual abuse, which they both described as penis massages. Diane Vandermolen, another cousin of the brothers, stated that she once told Kitty about Jose's molestation of Lyle, although Kitty told her that it was false. As physical evidence, the defense presented a photograph of Lyle and Eric's genitalia allegedly taken by their father when they were children. Eric testified that a couple of weeks before the night of the killings, he told his brother about the sexual abuse he was experiencing, which led to several confrontations within the family. The brothers also testified that their father threatened to kill them if they did not keep the abuse secret. They claimed the last confrontation happened inside their home's den on August 20th, 1989, a few minutes before Kitty and Jose were killed. The brothers stated that their father closed the den's door, which was unusual. Paranoid and afraid that they would be killed by their own parents, Lyle and Eric went outside to load their shotguns. Eric stated, "As I went into the room, I just started firing." During their trial, the brothers first stated that they committed the murders out of fear that their father would kill them after they threatened to expose him for years of sexual, emotional, and physical abuse, while the prosecution argued that they did it to inherit their father's multimillion-dollar estate. They were first tried separately with one jury for each brother. However, both juries deadlocked, resulting in mistrials. In a second trial, they were tried together and found guilty. Both brothers were sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. A new evidence includes a letter that Gardner said was written by Eric Menendez to Eric's cousin Andy Cano in December 1988, about 8 months before the crime. The letter states, among other things, "I tried to avoid Dad. It still happens, Andy, but it's worse for me now. Every night, I stay awake thinking he might come in crazy. He warned me 100 times not to tell anyone, especially Lyle. The letter is not the only piece of evidence that has emerged. Roy Rossello, a former member of the Puerto Rican boy band Menudo, has come forward to claim that he was also sexually abused by Jose Menendez in the early 1980s, when Rossello was a minor and a member of the band. The Menendez brothers hope new evidence will help reopen the infamous murder case. One of the lawyers, Cliff Gardner, said that new evidence supports these long-standing allegations and reduces her guilt. Gardner argues that Lyle and Eric Menendez should have been convicted of manslaughter rather than first-degree murder, and that otherwise they would have received a much shorter sentence and been released from prison long ago.